If you just started rapping or you're trying to level up your technique, you're gonna want to stick around. This is the first in our new series where we're gonna take you panel by panel through the rap. We're gonna break things down, show you how we tackle problem areas, and of course, we're gonna show you the tools and techniques that we use along the way. If you've got any questions, make sure you drop them down in the comments below. We're gonna be answering as many questions as we can in every video moving forward. Make sure you subscribe, that way you don't miss any of the next part of the build. You guys subscribing to us makes it possible to keep bringing you content like this. Let's get into it. Beautiful people, testing, 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna be wrapping the door. If your door has a mirror on it, so if the mirror wasn't sitting up top and it was sitting down here on the door, you'd wanna make sure you take that mirror off. It's gonna make it a lot easier for you. Also, if your door handle hinges out like a normal door handle where you have to pull it out, remove that. It's gonna make life 10 times easier. Now we're gonna be laying out our door. Making sure we have full coverage, both sides. Definitely have a lot of material. So what I like to start off by doing is actually rolling down the material from the top side first. I do have that mirror up top, and I'm gonna just fold the material down a little bit so I can get the material right underneath the mirror. Then I'm gonna come over to this side. Just go ahead and pull off my rest of my backing. I also like to remove the cap sheet at this point. I just want it to be easier to glass. Picking it up right to where I got it underneath that mirror. I'm gonna pull nice and tight. Glass right across the body line. I'm gonna take my squeegee and lock in the top. Piece is a little long, so I'm going to cut it down in just a second. So I'm going to have my top locked in. Start focusing on the bottom. And now I'm going to pick the material up to that body line. Make sure I feed into the body line a little bit. Now I'm just squeegeeing all the way across while I hold the material up with one hand. Making sure I overlap my strokes. And just get the majority of it down. It is a little chilly in the shop today, so you see I'm wearing a hoodie and sweats and beanie. It might be easier just to apply some heat to glass some of this out. And this is a thing that you guys can do to help you guys as far as it comes to glassing. If you're not able to glass it out without heat, because say you're continuing to get little soft wrinkles. Like I could honestly just squeegee these out, but that's because I know squeegee technique. But for someone that's never done this before, an easier way to do this would be to split it up into two parts, right? We have this side, the left side and the right side. I'm gonna pop up until I have no more wrinkles. I'm gonna apply some heat to the entire sheet. Okay. All right. Now that I got it back down to this body line down here, I'm gonna focus on this side. So I'll start squeegeeing just some of those soft wrinkles to get them down. Then same thing, I'm gonna pick it up a little bit. This technique that I'm doing where I come almost like a credit card, like I'm swiping a credit card, it's called cutting. This is when I'm cutting the wrinkles. Okay. Now I'm gonna apply a little heat. And notice when I heat, I'm not just heating and yeeting the material. I'm heating it up and then I'm just letting it relax onto the panel itself. Apply a little more heat. Jacks here. This is all good right to the edge. Fix this side. Those little wrinkles on the edge. Now what I'm gonna do for all of my edges, I'm gonna heat them up and run my finger over them just to make sure I don't have any wrinkles on the edges. If you do have a wrinkle on the edge in between the panels, all you gotta do is just pick it up. I might even make a little bit of a relief because this is kind of a lot of material to work with. Now we're ready to cut it down to shape. All right, so to cut it down to shape, since we wrapped the door, I'm gonna be cutting on the opposite edge. That means I'm gonna cut on the side of the quarter panel. All I'm doing is sticking my blade out a little bit, right on that edge. Just cutting right along it. You want to take your time when doing this so that way you get a nice, consistent, even cut all the way around and you're left with enough material to tuck. Do the same on the other side. Now time to tuck the edge. For the side that I can't really get my finger in behind, what I like to do is just take a squeegee and my heat gun, a little bit of heat, and start going over the edge. I like to start at high points first, or like recesses or any area that's not just completely flat. And then I'll work into those flatter areas. Now for the side that I can pop the door open. What I'm going to do is take my glove, my heat gun, and just roll over the edges. Same thing, I'm going to start at those higher points. Just like that, our edge is done. Now time to cut underneath the seal or underneath the trim. What I like to do for this is take a hard edge squeegee. I'm gonna pick the material up from off the top of the seal trim, off top of the trim. I'm gonna make sure I tuck it right underneath. Tucking it as much as I can. Then what I'm gonna do is take my blade and I'm gonna be laying it right underneath the trim. I'm gonna just ride that bottom edge all the way through. the rest of it. I'm gonna just tuck whatever I have remaining right underneath. Now for the fun stuff, we're gonna do our door handle cup. All we gotta do is apply some heat. Let it cool for a couple seconds. Just get these little outside edges down. Let it cool for a couple seconds. Then I'm gonna just take my finger. You can do this with your thumb. Just gonna go back and forth all the way across. Maybe apply some more heat, just a little bit. So what's happening here is this little edge is blocking off the air from escaping out. So what we're gonna do is actually make a little hole, not too long, not too deep, just a small hole for my finger to get in there. Pop the edge up, apply some more heat. It just goes right out. That trick also works, say if you get a wrinkle or something in the middle, you can pop it up, get your finger behind it. And then now when we apply heat to this little hole, it's gonna go back to its natural shape. Then you're gonna cut out your door handle slots. These are going to be fairly similar on most cars. What I like to do is just pretty much cut around on the inside, cut over the lip. Boom. A little heat to get this down around. Pour off your excess. Don't drop in your sensor, and that's it. And your fully finished door should look something like this. So when it comes to the fender, what you want to do first is start off by cutting it down to shape. For this, I like to use a snitty. It's a closed off blade. That way, when I go to cut out the car, I'm not gonna have to worry about cutting it. Just cut a little bit off the front. I'm gonna go into the wheel well. Just cutting kind of around the tire. We're going to start from the front and work our way back. I'm just rolling that backing paper. Give this a little tack. Oh, I forget, it's not magnetic. All right, no biggie. Now I'm gonna come from the top corner, the back side, start rolling the material, the backing paper down. It's all about right there. Might try to tighten some of this up. Then I'm gonna come and cut the backing paper off. Because I don't want the bottom half sticking just yet. At this point, I'm also gonna remove the cap sheet. So we're in pretty good standing as we're sitting right here as I'm looking at it, but the right way to do it would be to glass out the front half. Your main focus wants to be that body line down the center. So we're gonna start that body line. If I don't like the way this looks, I can also pick up this side and glass it down. It's pretty okay, but we're gonna do it just for the sake. Same thing, focusing on that body line. Make sure I go all one way out. Little bubbles, no biggie. When getting wrinkles on the fender, you want them to flow horizontal, because if they're flowing horizontal, you can easily just pull them either to the top or to the bottom. We're doing pretty okay right now. So I'm gonna just pretty much work out all the air as much as I can before I use any heat. And you definitely can, if you need to use heat, like to say to relax this, you could. That'll look something like this. Alright, just relaxing the film, giving a little bit of heat, not pulling it super hard, just letting it sit where it wants to sit. Alright, just get any little bubbles out before we move on. Do the front half. Now all these we're gonna pick up. Now, if your fender doesn't have a big drop like this, you wouldn't have to heat and drop it down or heat and glass it down. You could, like little sections, but most fenders are normally going to be cut off somewhere like right here. So you would just glass that over initially when you do this front half. But for this fender, we're going to heat it up. We're going to treat this like a mini backside. I'm going to apply heat to the entire sheet. Get up these little bubbles. We're gonna glass it down. You can use a squeegee when working on your fenders. I just like that my hand you're able to contour your hand to the shape of the fender, whether it's like on the edge or like in the center. So that's why I like using the glove. So we'll take care of these little guys right here. A little more heat. We're gonna pull down and out. Boom, just like that. We're all gone. Fix this little corner here. Fix this little guy. I'm gonna worry about my edges later. Now I'm gonna focus on this back half. Now we're gonna focus on this bottom portion of the fender. If you haven't noticed by now, we actually broke the fender down into 3 sections, right? So we did the top or the front half. We did the front half, the top half. Now we're doing the bottom section. So in this case, we're gonna pick the material up and we're gonna remove the rest of our backing paper. We're gonna heat the entire thing and then glass it down. You could start working these down, these little soft crinkles, if you can get them out. That way you're just a little less to glass, a little less to heat. Boom, just like that. Now we're ready to glass the bottom portion. So now I'm gonna heat up this entire sheet. We're gonna glass it down. And then you could definitely start using your squeegee in this section. And if you need to, you can also glass out more times if you have to. So like say if I didn't like the way this was sitting, just pick it up a little bit. Glass it down. Start using my squeegee. Now we're just going to clean up these edges of the wheel well here, and that's it for laying the fender. Just got to cut it down. Same process, literally just heating, letting the foam relax. Now for our wheel well, I do feel like I have a lot of excess touching the tire here, so I'm going to cut that down a little bit. You don't want to cut off too much because you still want to go deep as you can. But just so now it clears the tire a little bit better. What I'm going to start off by doing is heating it up, and I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to start pushing it as deep as I can into the wheel well. Now what we're going to do is take the blade. I like to stick it out just a little bit. Find that inner edge. And all we're going to do is ride the inner edge. Same thing this way. I go a little deeper. Cut this excess off. Sometimes if you have fender liner that's like sticking up or out, it can make it a little bit challenging, but no biggie. We could work right around it. Now we're gonna heat it up, lock it in. For the opposite edge right here on the door, where it meets the door, we're gonna heat it up. Let it cool down for a couple seconds. You never want to cut when the material's too hot. Then we're just gonna ride that opposite edge. We're gonna tuck underneath down here. And same thing, ride that opposite edge. What I like to do first is start with the high points, so here and here. As you guys are watching the series, you're gonna realize that a lot of things are gonna be transferable from panel to panel on the way you tuck and the way you glass, squeegeeing. So I'm gonna heat it up a little bit. Start with my high point. See down here. All it is heat and push in. Get that all nice and tucked. Now for this area that meets the pillar, start relaxing the film, picking it back up. I'm gonna use a thinner squeegee for this actually, and I'm gonna make a relief cut right here. I might even just tuck this in on this side a little bit. Now I'm gonna take a thinner squeegee. I'm actually gonna start tucking the material behind the fender. Apply some heat, tuck that corner. Now what I'm gonna do, I actually cut on the back side of the fender. Cut that off. Now we can just go ahead and tuck the rest of that underneath. Now to start tucking all this in. You want to make sure that you have your edge completely laid first, and then what you want to do is give it a little bit of heat, and then take your hard edge squeegee and then start tucking it all the way through. And when done right, you'll get no wrinkles up in here. What you want to do beforehand is either tape off your headlight and your bumper, or if you're able to, just cut on the opposite edge of the headlight or the bumper. And then after you cut it all down, remove your excess and then take a hard edge squeegee and go ahead and tuck it all in. Now, for this corner, what you want to do is heat it, tack it, pull it over the corner, tack it again, heat it again, and then we're going to cut right on the bottom edge of the corner. Now we're just going to tuck everything underneath the corner, apply a little heat. Come on. And your finished fender should look something like this.